Yoshimitsu is one of the most iconic characters in the Tekken series. Not only is he among the very few that has appeared in every single mainline game and in Soul Caliburs, his costume changes drastically each time as well. And even if he's not your favorite character, his ever-changing design is always something to admire. But is there a method to the madness? Here I attempt to answer, what are the core design themes for Yoshimitsu, and what can we expect for Tekken 8? Let's see if we can bring any patterns to light, first by going game by game, starting with Tekken 1. Due to being the first game in the series, the character designs are the most basic, and this applies to Yoshimitsu. Both costumes he's wearing full metallic armor and a Hanya mask. In historic Japanese theater, this mask represented a demonic transformation caused by jealousy and sorrow. It's interesting that while this mask is Japanese, the armor he wears appears to be more European, perhaps as a reference to the English tale of Robin Hood, which is Tekken 1 story likens to. In the first Tekken, it's already clear that Yoshimitsu is more than just a Japanese swordsman character, but is complex, enigmatic, and not afraid to look a bit ridiculous. These core traits are built on as the series progresses. In the sequel, we see the identity forming in Yoshimitsu's design. On the Player 1 costume, we see more elements of traditional Japanese attire in the tucked hakama pants and the sandogasa hat. For the Player 2 costume, we see the full armor and helmet covering his whole body in addition to a now red colored sword. The Player 2 outfit kind of looks like a battle outfit that Yoshi would use on a raid, while the Player 1 outfit is the closest we ever see of a casual outfit from him. I've always liked the simplicity of this design and is one of my personal favorites. You can see that there are elements from both costumes that are carried forward, and together they send a message that you will not know who Yoshimitsu is, but he is to be feared. In Tekken 3, we get without a doubt the most definitive Yoshimitsu design, as this is where it all comes together. The flat top and tucked pants are retained from his Tekken 2 Player 1 silhouette, but the glowing sword, the skeletal face of the full helmet embody the fear aspect from his former Player 2 outfit. Ditching the masks worn to represent a demon, in this armor he becomes the demon. The flesh-colored connection in his armor made him instead appear as a creature. More than not knowing who he is, people introduced to Yoshimitsu at this point forward begin to ask, what is he? The Player 2 outfit looks more like a direct evolution of his Player 2 outfit from Tekken 2, retaining the full suit and the red sword. As opposed to the previous outfits that were more traditional and otherworldly, Yoshimitsu's Player 1 outfit in Tekken 4 is a full armor suit depicting a horned beetle, which is a much more recognized creature. The prominent helmet is befitting that of a leader, and while the skull mask still embodies the fear like his previous outfits, the beetle is more associated with strength. Otherwise, the armor is very consistent throughout in color and design. I was not a fan of this outfit when this game was released, but now I at least can appreciate how well it served Yoshimitsu in reflecting his leadership status of the Manji clan. The Player 2 outfit is a bit closer to his conventional samurai look, except using the metallic Hanya mask and the red hair. This costume definitely seems like a reimagining of a combination of his Tekken 1 and 2 outfits, and probably would have been the Player 1 outfit in any other game. Tekken 5 returns to familiar grounds when it comes to the character design, but with more conventional samurai features in his Player 1 outfit. While it's common in fictional designs to strip and distort the very distinct pieces in samurai armor, and Yoshimitsu definitely has had samurai elements in his previous designs, Tekken 5 Yoshimitsu clearly has the most we've seen so far. In addition to the skeletal mask we've come to expect at this point, what appears to be a crustacean or insect features hanging from the back of his head continue the creature aesthetic, albeit in a much smaller way. Player 2 outfit is like an undead version of his Tekken 2 outfit. The skull mask and knee pads, as well as the talisman on his worn Sanagasa, add to this theme of death, or perhaps even reincarnation. In Tekken 6, the samurai base is built on again, with many additional parts giving him a much bulkier look. Animalistic features include the blades on his back appearing kind of like retracted wings perhaps, and as well as the 3 serpent-like tails. The waist and the shoulder armor are also very pronounced. I don't know if they together are supposed to represent some sort of mythological bird or dragon, but regardless, it's an interesting evolution from Tekken 5. The Player 2 outfit resembles some sort of an undead monk. The skull mask returns with very worn clothes over dark colored armor. There's a floating Dharma wheel behind him, which itself is a Buddhist symbol representing the 8 paths of enlightenment. In Tekken 6, both Yoshimitsu's outfits directly continue the themes set by the respective outfits in Tekken 5. Unlike Tekken Tag 1, Yoshimitsu has a unique design in this non-canon game. The creature and undead motifs are both absent here, and instead is a samurai armor that is much more straightforward, yet decorative. The armor appears more ceremonial in nature, as if a royal statue has sprung to life. This outfit also features a circle, but it's not the Dharma wheel seen in Tekken 6. I suspect it represents the Enzo, a complete circle symbolizing enlightenment, the universe, and the void, all ideas featured in previous outfits. The 5 connecting circles could refer to the 5 senses, or alternatively the 5 Godai elements, in which the void is also featured. I know I'm in the minority here, but this costume is also a personal favorite of mine. In Tekken 7, Yoshimitsu dons a very form-fitting armor, resembling a squid or octopus with tentacles flowing from his helmet, shoulders, and backside. This is the most easily recognizable animal influence in this design since Tekken 4 games later. Besides that, the samurai elements common in previous Yoshimitsu designs maintain a presence here, so the costume change is still pretty consistent with his themes. I have no guesses as to why it's squid though, or what that signifies. Now, I purposely did not want to include all the customization options in this video, but I'd like to give an honorable mention to the Demon Warrior selections, which have been a mainstay for Yoshi since Tekken 6. They depict and are named after a class of Buddhist deities called the Godai Myo-o, the Great Wisdom Kings, who fiercely dominated evil that threatened the Buddhist path. Many Hindu and Buddhist deities are shown with multiple heads and arms to indicate their prowess, with the items they hold symbolizing their specific specialties. Here for Yoshimitsu, he holds a Dharma wheel, which we've seen, as well as an axe and what I believe is a vase. Obviously, he also holds a sword in one hand, but when you put it away, it becomes held by one of his 2 empty hands. This is similar to his sword completing the Dharma wheel in Tekken 6, and it's just a particularly cool detail to me. Going through these, we can see that Yoshimitsu indeed has features common throughout the games, despite appearing differently each time. Samurai and skeletal elements are present in nearly every appearance, for example, as well as red and dark red colors, but there are plenty of others. The theater mask was present in Tekken 1, 2, and Tekken 4. Yoshi wore the Hannya mask only in the earlier Tekken games, so they're really not likely to reappear, especially with Kunimitsu returning into the mix. With the exception of Tekken 4, the human skull mask, as opposed to the more stylized skulls, have always appeared in the alternate costumes like in Tekken 5 and 6. More often than not, Yoshi also has the kanji for space somewhere in his outfit. On the top of his hat in Tekken 2 and in the Tekken 5 alternate, and most visibly on his shoulders in Tekken 6 and his waist in the Tekken 4 alternate. For animal features, I was under the impression that all of Yoshi's costumes after Tekken 2 had animal motifs, but it was only really Tekken 4 and 7 where they were the most prevalent. You could argue that the costumes for Tekken 3, 5, and 6 are going for an extraterrestrial style as opposed to an earthly animal, playing on his theme of space. Buddhist iconography permeates many of Yoshimitsu's design as well, most notably in his Tekken 6 secondary and his aforementioned customizations. Combined with the use of other historical Japanese elements, it's clear that these traditional and spiritual pieces are also core to Yoshimitsu's design. And lastly, I'd like to bring up his glowing sword. A defining piece of his iconic Tekken 3 design, it only appears as part of his primary costume again in Tekken 4. It has otherwise been relegated to alternate costumes and customizations, and personally I think that's a shame. The lore explanation is that the glow is gone due to the sword losing power, but I don't care. I want this back in Tekken 8, even if just in rage or in heat mode. This man needs his glow. So, what could we see in the next game? Looking at the patterns shown in the series up to this point, I think the safest bet for Yoshimitsu's appearance in Tekken 8 would be a dark red armor with intricate details like in Tekken 6, though with much less bulk and animalistic features similar to his Tekken 5 and Tekken Tag 2 outfits. In the alternate costume, we could see another undead themed outfit if that trend continues. However, we already see that safe would not be the most accurate word to describe the design philosophy of Tekken 8. Perhaps every 4 titles Yoshi gets a full armor suit primary like in Tekken 4. The Tekken team could also collaborate with other artists for a unique design like in Tekken 5 with the manga artist Oh Great. We only have a short while more until Yoshimitsu is revealed for Tekken 8, so I'd like to hear other predictions, and after reveal, how the new designs compare with the themes outlined here. Going back to Yoshimitsu's design over the years was pretty fun, as well as researching all of the cultural history behind these design themes. I'm excited for what comes next for the Space Ninja.